Good day, fellow modelers. Mr. Handy back with another handy review for you. Today we're going to take a peek at DreamModel's F20 Mighty Dragon. This is a production version apparently. So I have recently taken an interest in Chinese aircraft. I'm more of a 70s and 80s person, maybe, when it comes to Chinese aircraft. I always loved the finback. I always thought it was an interesting plane. And then they started making a lot more aircraft, and they started to get a little bit more interesting. I recently picked up a couple books on Chinese aircraft, and yeah, I'm starting to get a little more interested in Chinese aircraft. So with that, I bought DML's model. I also bought the Trumpeter prototype and the production version, so we will take a peek at that in another review, and we might do a little bit of a comparison too. So I have a couple of DreamModel kits. I have their F5A. I recently did a review on the F5E kit. I have their F5F. I have a couple other kits that I'm looking at doing reviews on as well. But this will be my second one, and I have my hopes. Let's just say I have my hopes. I was a little bummed out with the F5A, and then ended up finding out that it was just a repop of an ESCI kit or an ESCI kit, and then the F5F or F5E, which again to me seems like it might be a repop of somebody's. So, and with the F5E, that box is huge. Like, you could fit probably 4 of those kits into that box. Sorry, having a little bit of a drink there. Anyways, let's take a look at the box. So there's some stuff to get you interested in this kit. There is looks like probably 2 paint schemes. We've got a nice little splinter scheme, and we've got a nice air superiority gray scheme. So this kit is DM720010. There's your QR code if you wish. This was done 2017. I'm behind the times, but whatever. And the first thing I have to say is this box is great. I talk about boxes quite a bit with the model kits, and this is such a sturdy box. This is so amazing. This box is so sturdy you could probably just mail this box with the kit in it and just throw some paper over it, and it would be very good. I know lots of people like to do that. It drives me nuts, but this one would survive it. So anyways, enough with my fetish with cardboard boxes. Upon opening, we've got what appears to be some very tasty plastic. 2 sprues, 3 sprues. We have different engines, and we have looks like camouflage scheme in Chinese. We have decals and photo etch, and we have the DreamModel 1-page instructions, and we also have paint schemes. So let me move this box out of the way. And let's take a look at the instructions. So, as you usually do, you start with the ejection seat. And then we move on to air intakes. It appears to be. And then landing gear. And then you get into the main landing gear or front landing gear station, cockpit, main landing gear station. It's nice to see that you get the choice between an open weapons bay and an open weapons bay and a closed weapons bay. Your air intakes, your closing up the nose. We have option between open or closed canopy. There's you putting your main body together. You have options of 2 different types of engine burner cans. It looks like one might be a stealthier version. Chinese missile of some type. Putting on your fins and putting the doors on for all of your interior weapons bays. So it looks kind of similar to everybody's new 5th generation aircraft. I mean, the F-22 and the F-35 both have these. F-50 or the Su-57. Theirs is very long. There's 2 bays in between. And then on the Su-57, as well as the F-22, F-35, everybody seems to have this little bay on the side of the air intakes for their smaller close-in air-to-air missiles. Long-range missiles or air-to-ground weapons or whatever is carried in the main bay. So, interesting stuff. Let's take a peek at the color. So there's our color. It is all called out in... I don't even know what MA is. Sorry. Don't know what MA is. Oh, Mr. Hobby. Okay. Yeah, I don't use Mr. Hobby. I use Vallejo or Tamiya. So, decal placement and this interesting splintered camo. And then on the other side is your air superiority gray scheme, which is also supposed to be this one. So I don't know why they added the extra piece. Obviously, there's some type of a call. Maybe they screwed up on the paint scheme. That's possible. They might have messed up on the paint scheme. 61 MA 300. Yeah, they might have. I think they had, yes, they had the darker color lighter on here and the lighter color darker on here. So, mystery solved. Let's get into this. And, I mean, just upon looking at this, this is a huge aircraft. Like, I take a look at this, and the first thing that I think is MiG-31 Firefox. I mean, that's the first thing I think of when I take a look at this. It's huge. Like, this is a huge aircraft. So, of course, it's sealed. No freezer bags. No sticky plastic to put back together. Oh, well. Let's see what we've got. So, yeah, I mean, look at there. That my hand is a fair size. That airplane is huge. Just huge. Just off the top, the plastic has got a bit of a pitted surface. This reminds me of DML's plastic, actually. Some of their older kits, they had that bit of a texture to it. That's what this reminds me of. So, the scribing is, I mean, it's not bad. It's not. Well, we'll show you guys here. See, there's your subscribing. It's not too bad, I don't think. It's decent. You know, it's decent. Their landing gears, The rest of the stuff is kind of plain. I mean, it's not super detailed, not super crisp in some cases. Again, I'm a little disappointed there's no surface detail. That's me, though. But again, in these new 5th generation aircraft, the surface detail is like it's almost, there's nothing. And especially for the main instrument panel, I mean, basically it's all it is MFDs, you know, and CTRs or CRTs, I mean. So the nice addition to the cockpit is you've got these little you can see them, they're little nubs. I'm assuming that's supposed to recreate the hooks to clasp down the canopy for the pressurization. There is a lot of ejection pin marks. I mean, there is a landing gear, and you can see 2 ejection pin marks, unfortunately. Same in this one. Yeah. All in all, first impression is just this. Like I said, it's a huge aircraft. Like, huge. And the detail's not too bad. You know, not too bad at all. There's your detail for the side. That looks interesting. I'm assuming it is a some type of a camera with infrared or other lock-on sensors, so to speak. All right, let's take a look at the bottom. I can't get past how big this aircraft is. It's big, you know, like, it's big. So here we go. This is the underbelly. Again, it's got the same type of texture. The detailing is, again, it's doable. It looks good. I'm okay with the Airfix scribing, and I know a lot of people said that they think that that's way too pronounced, but you know what? It's all right. Do a little bit of sanding and it'll go away. So there we've got the bottom portion. You've got all your all your sawtooth to make it all super stealthy. Big wheels. Those are a little bit, those look almost a little bit bigger than a Tomcat's wheels. They look about the size of a MiG-25's wheels. And a MiG-25 is a fairly big plane as well. So the detail here, though, is much, much nicer. That's your doors. Those are your doors that are open. So they have some nice detail there. There's some nice detail on this side. These are your side walls for the front landing gear. So it's nice to see some hoses in there. This, of course, is, I believe, for your the side of the air intakes for the close-in air-to-air missile. And unfortunately, as you can see, it has 4, 5, 6 ejector pin marks. That's a little bit of a bummer. So we'll be working on those. And of course, here's the other one. You can see them a little more pronounced. So they're such a pain in the arse to get into. And then we have a bunch of other little attachments that go on with this. So there is your canards, I believe. I don't know if I showed the inside of the main weapons bay, but it's not too bad either. Those pylons are a little chunky, but, you know, you can have the choice to have them open or closed, right? So, oh yeah, and then we have the doors for the close-in area missiles, and yeah, they've got ejector pin marks on them too. So, a little bit of flash here and there. So, but all in all, pretty nice. Pretty nice. We'll have to compare it to trumpeters and see who is the better. Is this our last sprue? I think I might be missing the clear piece. Well, would you believe that, ladies and gents? I am missing the clear piece. That's awesome. Well, that really kind of sucks. Anyways, let's continue on here. This here, there's obviously some stressing happening, as you can see. So let's flip it around. This is the top portion of your main landing, of your front landing gear. There's your main landing gear, and man, do those ever look beefy. But I mean, for such a huge plane, I would assume they'd have to be. There's your Chinese weird air-to-air missile. Not sure what it is. Like I said, I just started getting into Chinese stuff, so haven't really gotten into the air-to-air missiles yet. But again, more air-to-air missiles. Those are your probably your long range. I would assume that these are probably the equivalent to the AMRAAMs. There's your back end, and then you've got your cans, your burner cans. Again, the detail's not too bad. The stealthy ones, or the stealthier ones, look nice. These ones, not so much. So, ejection seat pieces. There is your ejection seat. There's your... these are the flame holders, I'm assuming. Or they could be the fans. I'm not entirely sure, and won't know until... Oh, no. Won't know until we start building, but this, I just saw this, and again, lots of ejection pin marks. And, yeah. Awesome. And then some more for the main gear landing bays. So, and then there's your doors, I believe, for the front landing gear, or maybe for the back, and that might be for the main landing gear, actually. Not too sure at this point, but yeah, there's your front one right there, and it's got, again, ejector pin marks. So these, of course, are for your and there is also I don't know if you can see them. You can just barely make them out. There's sink marks by each one of these nubs. So, yeah. Oh well. It, like I said, it looks like a nice plane to put together. I'm a little miffed that I didn't get a clear piece. I'm looking through the box right now, and it doesn't appear to be any clear pieces. There's no clear piece here. So, yeah, I'm going to have to get in contact with the company. So, there's your decals. Sorry. Light gray. I like these light gray Chinese roundels, I guess is what you would call them, markings. And then, yeah, there's the markings for the main control panel. And then you've got your consoles. And then I'm assuming these as well are for the main control panel. This looks like it's been lit up, so it goes into there. And so it's interesting stuff. And then we've got our replacement piece, which is photo etched. Some nice detail on there. Little tiny ejection seat belts. Interesting, I didn't realize it, but the photo etch is covered in plastic. So that's nice. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, there's the DreamModel's J-20. I believe it's J-20, right? Yeah, J-20 Mighty Dragon kit. Like I said, the size is amazing. It's a huge jet. I didn't think it was that big, but it is huge. It's yeah, it's a nice kit. But yeah, not having the clear parts is a real bummer. So that kind of sucks. But we'll contact Dream Hobbies and see if we can't get the parts we need. I believe, I'm not too sure if they do photo etch for this one. I know there's photo etch in the kit, right? But I know DreamModels is kind of known for their photo etch kits. They just started doing model kits. Most of their stuff originally was photo etch replacement parts, and their stuff was pretty good. It's on par with Edward. I think it's a little cheaper, but it's on par with Edward. Like I said, they just started doing some model kits a couple years ago. I think this was one of the F5, I believe. The F5A Freedom Fighter was, I think, one of their first kits. And it, like I said, it's not too bad. I'm just reviewing. That's all I said I was going to do is review. But like I said, I'm a little bummed out by not having a canopy. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But whatever. We will get in contact with them and then get a canopy, and we'll go from there. Ultimately, it's a nice kit. Like I said, I'm just surprised by the size, the sheer size of this fighter. It's amazing. It's very, very big. I'm not going to get into anything about whose fighter is going to be better. Ultimately, when it comes down to it, my thinking is it doesn't matter what fighter it is, it's the quality of the fighter pilot. So the pilot with the best training and all that is going to be the best fighter, not the actual aircraft. But interesting aircraft. That's one of the things that's started to change a bit about Chinese aircraft. I really liked the aircraft from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I mean, they were mostly using Russian MiGs, right? They were their knockoff, I guess. And the Q5 is probably that, and the F-8 2 Finback are my favorite aircraft from the Chinese Air Force. But looking at more of their stuff, it's interesting to see they had some interesting concepts, but looking at a lot of their stuff, I mean, their Panther helicopter is basically the Dolphin, right? And their main military transport helicopter is a Super Fairmont. So Yeah. I mean, you take a look at their stuff, and again, it's they're they're copying what they need. These new things that are coming out now, J-20 doesn't look like anything new. Doesn't look like it's a copy from anything. So they're slowly making their own fighters. Like I said, I picked up quite a bit of the Trumper stuff. So the Trumpeter Chinese aircraft. So we'll be going over those in the next little while. So thanks a lot for hanging around, checking out my handy review. That's it for this one, and stay tuned for the next episode. And take care of yourself out there. Not going to get into the COVID thing, but it's getting a little rough for us in Canada too. I know it's been rough for those of you down in the States, but let's just hang in there and just think about everybody else that's out there. All right? Thanks a lot, and we will see you in the next review. Happy modeling.